The moment the young boy stepped onto the stage, the entire auditorium seemed to pause in curiosity. He moved quietly, almost shyly, yet there was something magnetic about him. His black fedora cast a soft shadow over his eyes, and the sparkling silver jacket shimmered under the stage lights with every small step he took. People in the audience nudged each other, whispering as they noticed how much he resembled a young Michael Jackson. Even the judges leaned slightly forward, their expressions shifting from routine interest to genuine intrigue. As he reached the center of the stage, he stood still for a brief moment, gripping the microphone stand as if gathering courage. The huge arena, buzzing only seconds ago, suddenly softened into silence. The camera zoomed in, capturing the nervous yet determined look on his face. His small hands tightened around the microphone, a subtle sign of the pressure he felt. Yet, behind the nerves, there was a spark, an unspoken promise that something extraordinary might happen. The audience waited, breath held, sensing a moment that could turn unforgettable. Even Simon Cowell raised an eyebrow, picking up on the energy shifting in the room. The stage lights adjusted, forming a single bright spotlight around the boy, isolating him from the world and turning the massive stage into his private space. In that quiet, glowing moment, everyone could feel that the performance about to unfold wasn't going to be ordinary. It was the calm before a storm of talent no one expected. As the silence settled over the auditorium, the boy lifted his chin and took a slow, steady breath. His fingers relaxed around the microphone, and with a gentle exhale, he released the very first note. It was soft at first, pure, clear, and unexpectedly powerful. The sound seemed to float through the air, catching the audience completely off guard. A wave of gasps rippled through the room. It wasn't just a good voice, it was a voice that carried soul, emotion, and a striking resemblance to the legendary Michael Jackson himself. Simon Cowell's expression shifted instantly. His eyes widened, and he leaned closer to the table, shocked by the tone and control coming from someone so young. Sophia covered her mouth with her hand, unable to hide her surprise. Heidi exchanged a stunned glance with Howie, already sensing they were witnessing something extraordinary. The camera panned across the audience, capturing faces frozen in awe. Some people stood up involuntarily, drawn in by the purity of the boy's sound. Parents held their children closer, teens raised their phones to record, and older fans felt a nostalgic shiver run through them. In that voice, they heard echoes of a legend. The boy opened his eyes slightly, noticing the reaction, and something inside him ignited. His voice strengthened, growing richer and more confident with each note. The stage lights warmed, creating a soft golden glow that matched the emotion building in the room. The first note had changed everything, transforming curiosity into absolute amazement. As the song moved into its rhythm, the stage seemed to come alive with him. The lighting shifted dramatically, bathing the boy in warm golds and deep blues that danced across the floor like waves of energy. He began to move, not nervously, but with a natural flow that felt instinctive, almost magical. His feet glided effortlessly, echoing the iconic smoothness of Michael Jackson's signature style. Each step, spin, and slide felt precise yet full of emotion, the kind only true performers carry deep within. The audience erupted into cheers, many rising from their seats as the performance gained momentum. Phones lit up across the arena as people scrambled to record the moment. The boy, once shy and still, now moved with confidence, his voice blending seamlessly with the beat. Every note he sang carried a rawness that pulled people in closer, like they were witnessing history repeating itself in a new form. Even the judges couldn't hide their awe. Simon leaned back with a rare smile forming, impressed not just by the vocals but by the stage presence far beyond the boy's years. Sophia clapped mid-performance, unable to hold back her excitement. Heidi's eyes sparkled as she whispered something to Howie, both clearly stunned by the talent unfolding before them. The stage transformed from a simple audition platform into a living tribute, part nostalgia, part fresh brilliance. With each movement and every note, the boy created an atmosphere filled with electricity, emotion, and the undeniable feeling that a star was rising right before everyone's eyes. As the music built toward its emotional peak, the boy stepped closer to the center of the stage, gripping the microphone with both hands. His breathing grew deeper, not from exhaustion, but from the emotion swelling inside him. The lights dimmed around the edges, leaving only a powerful white spotlight illuminating his small figure. The audience leaned in, sensing that something unforgettable was coming. He closed his eyes, lifted his chin, and released a high, soaring note that cut through the arena with breathtaking clarity. The note was pure, stretched with perfect control, and filled with a raw depth that no one expected from someone so young. It wasn't just singing, it was emotion poured into sound. The entire room froze, mesmerized by the power and vulnerability carried in that single moment. People in the audience covered their mouths, some with tears forming, others simply stunned. The judges were equally overwhelmed. Simon blinked several times, visibly moved, while Sophia pressed her hand to her heart. Heidi's eyes glistened, and Howie stared forward in disbelief, shaking his head as if trying to process the talent unfolding in front of him. The boy held the note longer than anyone imagined he could. When he finally allowed it to fall gently into silence, the arena erupted into cheers that shook the room. It was the kind of moment that didn't just impress, it touched people deeply, creating a memory they knew would replay across millions of screens. In that soaring high note, he proved he wasn't just talented, he was unforgettable. As the final note faded into silence, the arena erupted into the loudest applause of the night. The boy stood there, chest rising and falling, still processing the moment he had just created. Before he could even look up, Simon Cowell pushed back his chair and slammed his hand onto the golden buzzer. The sound echoed like a thunderclap through the auditorium, instantly followed by an explosion of golden confetti raining down from above. The boy's eyes widened in disbelief. For a second, he didn't move at all, frozen between shock and overwhelming joy. Then he covered his face with both hands, tears slipping through his fingers as the confetti shimmered around him like falling stars. The audience rose to their feet, cheering at full volume, some screaming, some crying, all completely captivated. The judges stood and applauded. Sophia wiped her eyes, blown away by his voice and innocence. Heidi clapped with a smile so wide it looked like she couldn't contain her pride. Howie shook his head, still stunned by the natural brilliance he had just witnessed. Simon walked onto the stage, the rare softness in his expression saying more than any words could. He placed a reassuring hand on the boy's shoulder, whispering something that made the young singer nod with teary eyes. Cameras captured every second, the confetti swirling, the lights shining, and the boy standing in pure golden spotlight as the moment became instantly iconic. It wasn't just a golden buzzer. It was the beginning of a legend.